You know that feeling of being completely and utterly stuck? Where you start to believe that nothing you do will actually make a difference? Well, that feeling has a name. It's called learned helplessness. In this explainer, we're going to break down exactly how this mindset gets a hold of us, and more importantly, how you can start to reclaim your power. Okay, let's kick this off with a scene that probably sounds familiar. You've got a student, maybe an employee, or even your own kid, who just throws their hands up and says, "I need help," almost before they've even tried to tackle the problem. And as this quote from educator Meredith Schwartz points out, that simple phrase can be a huge clue that something much deeper is going on. And that really gets to the heart of it, doesn't it? Is this person just being lazy? Or is it a sign of a more ingrained psychological pattern that makes them feel genuinely, truly powerless? Because that immediate cry for help often isn't about trying to get out of work. It's a symptom of a belief that they are literally incapable of figuring it out on their own. So this feeling of powerlessness, it actually builds into a recognized condition that psychologists call learned helplessness. And trust me, it goes way beyond just being lazy. Here's the official definition. This whole idea was first uncovered back in the 1960s by a couple of psychologists, Martin Seligman and Stephen F. Meyer. What they found was that when a person is repeatedly put in negative situations that they have no control over, they eventually just stop trying to change things, even when they finally do have the power to make a difference. It's like they've learned to be helpless. And this is where we really need to draw a line in the sand. Laziness is about being unwilling to do something. Learned helplessness is totally different. It's the deep-seated belief that you're unable to act in a way that matters. It's that crippling shift in your mind from "I won't" to "I can't." And let me tell you, this belief has some serious real-world consequences. It absolutely erodes your motivation, it cripples your problem-solving skills, and it's heavily linked to anxiety and depression. I mean, when you feel powerless, your self-esteem just plummets, and that fire you have to go after your goals can completely fizzle out. It really does affect everything. So, where does this even come from? How does somebody actually learn to just give up? Well, it can sprout from a few different places. Chronic, inescapable stress can teach us that we have no control. Traumatic events can definitely instill a deep sense of powerlessness. And surprisingly, it can even come from a place of good intentions. Think about overparenting, where every single problem is solved for a child. It can actually rob them of the chance to build the confidence they need to solve things for themselves later on. Now, learned helplessness is deeply tangled up with depression, and it often starts with this vicious cycle. The very first step, when we start to feel down or hopeless, we naturally tend to pull back. We just become less active. We withdraw. And naturally, when we're doing less, we have fewer opportunities for positive things to happen. Fewer chances to feel that sense of accomplishment or connection with people, or even just simple pleasure. The rewards of life just start to dry up. And right here, this is the trap. Fewer rewards lead to a lower mood, which just reinforces that feeling of helplessness and the desire to do, you guessed it, even less. It becomes this awful, self-perpetuating loop that can feel impossible to escape. But here's the most important part of this whole thing. Because this is a learned behavior, it means it can be unlearned. So the big question is, how do you actually reclaim control and break that cycle for good? Okay, one of the most effective science-backed methods is called behavioral activation. The idea is actually really simple. Instead of waiting to feel better to do things, you do things to feel better. It's all about proactively scheduling meaningful activities into your day. So instead of waiting to feel like it, you might schedule a quick 10-minute walk or a call with a friend. These little actions directly attack that cycle of inactivity and create new chances for reward. Overcoming this is also about changing the story you tell yourself inside your head, what psychologists call your explanatory style. Look, when something bad happens, you have a choice. You can see it as permanent, affecting everything and all your fault. That's the pessimistic style. Or you can reframe it. You can see it as temporary, specific to just this one situation, and influenced by outside circumstances. Making that shift to a more optimistic view is an absolute game changer. So what else can you put in your toolkit? Well, you can work on the inside by just becoming aware of your thought patterns and then actively challenging them with cold, hard facts from your own life. Mindfulness can also be amazing for grounding you. And on the outside, connecting with other people who get it can be so powerful. It just reminds you that you're not alone in this. And all of this brings us right back to that student asking for help. See, the real goal isn't just about getting one single answer. It's about building the skill and the confidence of self-reliance for the long haul. This quote from Dr. Catlin Tucker just nails it. The job of a parent or a teacher or even a good manager isn't to be a permanent crutch. It's to give people that invaluable skill of learning how to learn so they can face challenges on their own. This right here, this is the powerful shift in mindset, going from a vague, passive, I need help, to a specific, active, okay, here's what I've already tried, and this is the exact spot where I'm stuck. That's a huge deal. It transforms you from being a victim of the problem into being an active participant in solving it. So, let's end with a little challenge. Think about one small problem you're facing right now. Instead of immediately looking for help, what's one tiny step you can take to solve it yourself? What's the first move you're going to make today?